Well, this is it. Land's End, the very southern tip of New Zealand. You can't get any further south than this because behind me is the Fobo Strait. Over there is Bluff, Oysters, Southland. And over there, some of the fastest high-speed special stages in the Parker NZ New Zealand Rally Championship. And as they say down here at Land's End, this is actually the start of the road, the start of the Rally of Southland. Based around the southern city of Invercargill, the Rally of Southland featured 8 special stages over 132 kilometres. Stage 1, Pebbly Hills, was a really tough start. Stage 5 had to be cancelled. Stage 3 had plenty of snow. And Stage 7 was the real car breaker, Rowellen. Snow at the top part of the course before the fast finish at Teretonga. Now, a big southwest breeze had hit Southland just 4 days before the start of the rally, but most of the snow was luckily washed away in heavy rainstorms on Friday and Saturday. But that left the drivers thinking about their choice of tyres and the slushy conditions.
Possibly mud tyres are needed in some stages. Other times I think people will be surprised that maybe using a wider tyre rather than a narrower tyre might work very well.
There's been very heavy rain overnight, so the condition of the road may have changed even to what it was when we went over them yesterday.
It is a sandy-based course. The round stone here is very, very round. It's not as sharp as the North Island. And it is definitely a challenging rally.
So with plenty of narrow tyres on the cars and packed into the trucks, the crew's headed for Pebbly Hills, Southland's most feared rally stage, to get the day started.
3, 2, 1, go. Long 4 right, 30. 8 right, 80. 6 left, 200. 2 left in junction.
As 2001 champion, Bruce Herbert carries number 1, so would be first away to test the road conditions.
300.
Pebbly Hills Forest is difficult to drive because the road changes constantly from smooth, open public roads to narrow forest tracks. Add to that, branches collapse onto the road under the weight of snow, so you have a real challenge.
180.
And Herbert emerged with a conservative 13 minutes 55 seconds.
8 right over small crest, 180.
That time would soon be beaten, but not by the NZ car of former champion Jeff Argyle. His rally ground to a halt just 1 minute 45 seconds from the start when his engine swallowed water in a large puddle.
200. For a 3 right junction.
Now he spluttered on, but the oil light came on, and that told the story. Their rally was over. Todd Warden took up the challenge through the stage, using all the road to post a time 19 seconds ahead of Herbert. Picking up where they left off in round 1, Richard Mason and Hamish Fettermore. They went through the stage just 2 seconds behind Borden.
Small crest, 100.
Now, these two have been a team since Mason started rallying years ago and are actually brothers-in-law.
Small crest, 120. Small crest, 200.
And then what?
6 left.
Yeah, well, my brother-in-law is actually my co-driver, and so if you have a bit of a scrap in the car, then you got to think, oh well, we've got to go around and see each other later on in the week maybe, and you can't go jumping out of the seat and forgetting about it.
Also back in the battle, Stumpy Holmes with Dunedin's Emma Gilmore standing in for regular co-driver Gary Cowan, who was in the States co-driving for East Millen. Third fastest, just 9 seconds behind Borden. Next up, Clinton Anderson from Lower Hutt, turning in a good time, 5th fastest. And from Dunedin, Mike Turfer, 6th fastest, but he would go no further. A strange noise in the engine meant a precautionary retirement. Spectacular as always. Andrew Hawkswood wasn't happy though with the centre diff, and that put him off his driving. Luckily just missed our camera. Now, with the Forest stage behind them, stage 2 should have been a chance to open up and put the hammer down. But check out the huge puddle which awaited the drivers that appeared overnight on stage 2.
Bridge jump. 122 Ripen Junction. 300.
Bruce Herbert takes it easy and makes it look easy. But grip levels on these roads are very deceptive. Hard and grippy on the middle, but as Herbert finds out, no grip at all when you go off the road.
5 left, 250.
And luckily for Bruce, that was just a post and not a culvert. Holmes took on the challenge of the stage, and despite this near miss, he won the stage by 3 seconds from Herbert, then another 3 seconds back to Borden. Now take a look from the driver's point of view. This is water skiing Southland style in a rally car. Now that bridge wasn't too close, was it? But it was a bit of a handful.
Yep, 2 right in junction. 300.
Richard Mason also proves the other approach works. Take it easy and get through the stage 4th fastest. Auckland's Mark Tapper was leading Group N after Chris West had a computer problem, which meant his car was over-revving going into the corner and understeering badly. First service at Winton, and it was time for Bruce Herbert to change tyres to narrow mud tyres in his Dynalink Subaru. But the narrow tyres on hard roads will wear badly, and that point wasn't lost on Rally Art's Mark Tapper, who wanted to save his for Special Stage 7.
Stages is more important. They're longer and they're in the worst. That's right. Put them back on.
Okay, you want to go back on? Okay. Same tyres, same places. Yep.
And this is what the Parker NZ Rally Championship is all about. Going to local towns like Otau and Winton so the hard-working crews can set up their service areas so the country's top drivers can challenge themselves around our spectacular countryside. Phase 2 of the Rally of Southland moved west to Otau, and more significantly, the altitude of the stage has increased, and with it, the amount of snow on the road. Bruce Herbert was 4th going into stage 4, but he was now on narrow mud tyres, and he made the most of the conditions and won the stage by 4 seconds. And suddenly, in these conditions, there was a real good battle in the top 4 between Subaru and Mitsubishi. Todd Borden led the Evo Challenge, but his lead slipped to 13 seconds after he hit a rock in Special Stage 3, and that bent his steering. But 10.29 through Stage 4 was still good enough to keep him ahead of Stumpy Holmes.
And then 80.
Chris West in the second of the Dynalink Subarus had a miserable start to the Rally of Southland when a computer malfunction caused the car to over-rev. Now on stage 4, he was back in the groove and posted a time of 10.33. And his head-to-head battle with the Mitsubishi driver Mark Tapper was one of the highlights of the rally. West led Group N by 16 seconds and was 8th overall. Stumpy Holmes in the other Rally Yard Mitsubishi dropped to third overall here. He chose to stay on wider tyres and actually lost 10 seconds to Herbert through the stage.
Stoners a 6 minus, small crest, 6 right minus, opens to a 7. And double caution, 4 left, short, sudden 4 right, minus injunction. Goes right. 4 right minus, injunction.
So 7 right over small.
Richard Mason also had a slower time, a 10.38, and he was now 10 seconds behind Holmes in fourth,
16.
but 45 seconds ahead of New Plymouth's Glenn Smith.
7 right, 60. 8 right, 50. 3 right, 3 left, sorry, 3 left plus.
Smith had taken it easy in the early stages, especially the first, mindful of his early rollover in the Rally of Otago. But from here, he would set off after the leaders. At service at Otautau, Herbert's team gave the car a quick wheel alignment. Apart from that, his only problem was finding enough narrow tyres to suit conditions.
We had a bit of a problem in those first 2 stages. We ran a wide tyre and should have been a narrow one. Didn't actually appreciate how much rain there was overnight.
So what have you done now?
To a very narrow tyre, which lasted better in there than we thought they would and really did the job.
Across the road, Chris West had to change a lower suspension wishbone. Half a day's job at a local garage normally, but here on the roadside, just 15 minutes.
Obviously, it's I've hit a rock on the underneath of it and broken the bottom off the ball joint or something, but like no effect on the car or at all in the stage or anything. So the car's going good. It's the last stage is probably the best stage I've had all year. It felt good and it's just better things to come, I think.
Tyre choice was critical now, with the long special stage 7 Rowan still to come, especially the last 8 Ks.
It's been tyres all day. That first stage we had narrows on, Bruce had wides on. Then the next set he had narrows, we had wides. So it was sort of and cat and mouse, and I think we made a better choice. But I think his times, he did some good times. But the next one, hey, we've got to go. It's another gamble, a huge gamble. Tyres are the big part down here. That's just going to make the big difference.
But Clinton Anderson had tyre problems, starting with a smashed rim.
We went a bit tight on the inside of a corner and clipped the rock, which basically broke the rim. And we sort of had the last 3 or 4 stages on a broken rim puncher. So that was the brakes we were trying in there. So we lost a bit of time and hopefully we'll be able to make some up.
Stage 5 was cancelled, so now the crews toured to Tuatapere and then down to the southern coast of Waihoaka for special stage 6. Herbert had 13 seconds to make up on Borden's lead, and he laid down the challenge straight away, pulling back 10 seconds on just this stage. Borden may have gambled on the wrong tyre choice. He seemed to struggle in the thick gravel. He was now under pressure from third place Stumpy Holmes as well. But as you take a look from the Propecia in-car rally cam, he looks pretty cool under pressure. Stumpy Holmes continued his good run in third overall, but the pressure was on for the Waiuku driver. He had survived a technical protest over the Mitsubishi's gearbox before the start of the rally, and was also using Dunedin co-driver Emma Gilmore, while regular co-driver Gary Cowan took up duties in the USA. But the combination seemed to be working well. It was the Masterton driver, Richard Mason, who was putting the pressure on Holmes.
6 right into 6 left.
Amazingly, he was using second-hand tyres cast off from teammate Jeff Argyle.
84 left. 30. 4 right plus. 300.
Chris West heads out a lead in Group N here with a stunning time of 6.56, second fastest. Remember, this is a Group N production car, so down on power to Herbert's Group A machine. This is pure driver ability on show. Glenn Smith still held fifth, 5 seconds ahead of Lower Hutt driver Clinton Anderson of the Anderson Evo. Lewis Scott was steady in 8th after a conservative run so far. Another 10 seconds back to second place Group N driver Mark Tapper, the 21-year-old, impressive in his Southland Rally debut. And Austin Jones rounded out the top 10 despite an early incident in the rally. Fence post 1, front bumper 0. Rugged stage 7, Rowellen. It would be the critical stage in the Rally of Southland. Rough, narrow, and in places slushy. And at 22.5 kilometres, it was the longest, toughest stage in the rally.
8 left.
And it was here that Bruce Herbert would take control, using the narrow mud tyres and using all his experience. He blitzed the field with a time of 15 minutes, 43 seconds, 21 seconds faster than the next car.
5 left.
Now that car should have been Todd Borden, but he fell victim to the broom. Trees, that is. The windscreen wiper is toast and so's his visibility. And of course the inevitable happens. He spins out and his time on the stage 16:11, 4th fastest though. Now Stumpy Holmes looks cautious here, but for good reason.
Right plus.
Earlier in the stage, he had found Andrew Hawkswood stuck off the road, and then 5 kilometres later, Chris West Subaru in a similar state.
6 left. 8 right. 5 left. Short. Long 3 right. Tightens. 100.
West had discovered that this road had no traction off the road.
Silly wee thing, like just missed, actually put my wipers on to clear the screen and smeared it, and just missed my braking point going into a 3 right. I slid, like, you know, just probably a car length off the road, if that, right on the edge of the road, and unfortunately we just couldn't get back on.
Fortunately, Andrew Hawkswood helped him out with a tow to get West going again, but he lost the Group N lead and 7 minutes. Yes, and amazingly, Mark Tapper survived that moment. He actually posted the 3rd fastest time in the stage, a 16:10, which is incredible. And he had a 1 minute 18 lead in Group N over Deborah Kibble.
6 left, 18.
But the winner out of this should have been Richard Mason in 4th place, except he too found the going a bit tough.
6 right over small crest into 4, left long. Tightens to 3. 100.
He got going again, but lost over 8 minutes.
It's a push back. Push, guys, push.
So after the rocky run through Rowellen, Special Stage 7 had claimed its victims. Bruce Herbert had taken the lead by 26 seconds, followed by Borden, Holmes, Smith, Anderson and Tapper, first in Group N. So the Rally of Southland had split into 2 battles. Out in front, Bruce Herbert, 28 seconds clear of the battle for 2nd place. Todd Borden holding on to 2nd place, but by only 7 seconds from the Mitsubishi Evo 7 of Stumpy Holmes. Does he look like Tommy Mackinnon or what? And then the battle for 4th place. That was led by Glenn Smith. It had been an outstanding drive by the Taranaki man who had never finished a South Island rally before. His battle was with Tapper, Anderson and Lewis Scott. Just 39 seconds separated these 4 drivers. Final stage showdown was the world's most southern racetrack, Teretonga. 10th place and 2nd in Group N, Wellington's Deborah Kibble, ahead of Hugh Owen from Blenheim. Coming home time in 8th place, a spectacular and battered Austin Jones on the old Subi. Lewis Scott, 7th overall in number 7. Mark Tapper just pipped here, dropped back to 6th, but was still first in Group N, his first New Zealand Championship class win. Clinton Anderson, 5th place, his best effort in the Championship Rally. 4th place went to Glenn Smith, a great comeback after his Otago rollover. Stumpy Holmes came 3rd, but you get the feeling it won't be long before he scores his first win in the National Championship. Last year he crashed here when running on racetrack tyres, so this time in the rain he switched over to the rally tyres, and in the rain, well, it worked okay.
It's nice to have another 3rd. It's good points, so still got a little bit more learning to do with the car, and no, I'm very happy.
Hibiscus Coast driver Todd Borden in the Marley Evo 6 had survived a wrong tyre choice and a spin to finish just 9 seconds clear of Holmes in 2nd. But he saved the last corner for a final spin and lost another 6 seconds. Tough day at the office.
Got 250 to finish.
Someone's kicked some mud up there, wasn't there last time, was it? Bitch.
3, 2, 1, go.
So battling Bruce Herbert once again had a nice comfortable cushion going into the final stage, that spinning track around Teretonga. He's just so relaxed in the car, as you can see on board with the Propecia in-car rally cameras, and it's been a real key to his dominance of the championship. And now on the final stage, a chance to enjoy himself as he chases a very spectacular Andrew Hawkswood around the track.
Long 5 left, minus 80. Long 6 right, minus 30. 4 left, tightens and opens 100. He's gone.
Congratulations, Bruce. 2 out of 2 on the Parker NZ Championship.
Yeah, it couldn't be better. It's just absolutely excellent.
What was the key to victory today, timing your change in tyres at the right time?
Certainly helped. Yeah, we should have put them on earlier, but that's life.
You happy with the overall position, about, what, 30-second advantage?
Yeah, there was a bit of... we weren't quite sure going into there. We thought it might only been 7 and could have easily lost it around there, but I think 30 was it.
So the overall results of this year's Rally of Southland: Bruce Herbert in the Subaru first, Todd Borden second, 25 seconds behind in the Mitsubishi, followed by Stumpy Holmes in 3rd place. Smith and Anderson rounded out the top 5, while Mark Tapper was 6th and 1st in Group N. Lewis Scott came home 7th, followed by Austin Jones. Hugh Owen and the boys from Blenheim in 9th. Deborah Kibble, 2nd in Group N, rounded out the top 10, while Chris West, big day at the office, 3rd in Group N. So in the Group A Rally Championship, the top 3, Herbert, Borden and Holmes. And in Group N, it's very tight, with Tapper just 1 point in front of West, followed by Kibble. And overall down the Parker NZ New Zealand Rally Championship, Herbert has a 20-point lead, followed by Borden, Holmes, Mason, Scott and Anderson. So that's it for the Rally of Southland. We've had everything this week: snow, wind, rain, even a bit of sun. But as the southern men say down here, she's a hard road to find the perfect rally, son. Good on you, mate. We'll see you for the next round in Rotor Vegas. That's the Parker NZ International Rally of Rotorua. On behalf of the team at 3 Sport, I'm Clint Brown. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Ready, steady, go!
48 kilometres.